everybody, and welcome back to the Microsoft Football Challenge. My name is Niall, and I'm part of the team here at TA Scotland. You'll notice we've got our Twitter handles down in the bottom corner. If your teacher uses Education Twitter, please do ask them to tweet and share with us all of the work that they've been doing with you in the class. We would love to see all of your buildings and all of your football spaces that have been built based off of the Microsoft Football Challenge. So I'm just going to share my screen just now. So welcome to day number 4. We are on our final day for the Microsoft Football Challenge today. My name is Niall, and I've been working with you all week to build up on your teamwork, your collaboration skills, and think about how we can use the Microsoft 365 products to kind of build that meaningful context and to start to use these tools in a way that maybe you weren't using them before. So today we're going to be having a look at forms, we're going to have a look at Excel and PowerPoint. Now, if you have not yet, for the past couple of days, been joining us, please do go back and join us for those sessions. On Monday, we built our collaboration skills up by using OneNote and sharing different tools with our teams. We came up with a name for our smart space. We had to think about how we could use these spaces to support our community. And on Tuesday, we used Whiteboard, Excel, and Word to think about the accessibility options built into that space. Maybe you've got ramps, maybe you've got dimmed lighting, maybe you've got volume control, that kind of thing. Then on Wednesday, so just yesterday, we were visualizing that building in that space. We were using PowerPoint to build those floor plans and then to present those to share them with others. And then lastly, on Thursday, we're going to be having a look at using forms to gather feedback from others. We're going to share our creations with the community. Then we're going to use Excel. I'm going to show you how you can analyze that data. And then PowerPoint, finally, to share our kind of presentations of what we've created. So without further ado, let's jump into Thursday. We're already 3 minutes in, and we're having a look at what we're going to be doing today. So Thursday, today's challenge, we're going to be asking for feedback from our service users and sharing our plans with our community. We'll use forms in Excel to communicate our thoughts and plans with others and present our findings in PowerPoint. Okay, so feedback is obviously a massive thing when you're building anything or putting any plans in together, because what you enjoy and what you might like and what you might think might go over well, nobody's actually going to use it. So we need to think about what people are going to use and how they are going to use that space. So without further ado, let's jump out of here. And the first thing we're going to have a look at today is we're going to have a look at using forms. So to find Microsoft Forms, all you do is you click up on the app launcher in the top left-hand corner and you find Forms. Where is it? There is Forms for me. Okay, once you have your forms, all you need to do is you just need to go New Quiz. So you can go New Quiz or you can go New Form as well. If you add in quiz, you can get correct answers. If you add in form, it's just for getting feedback. I've already started to create one here just to show you what it'll look like. So if you've never seen a form in action, this is what it looks like. So this is what your users are going to see when you create your form. So I've got my title and image up here. You do have use of the immersive reader. So if anybody has any additional support needs or they're needing support to read any of the questions, we've got immersive reader all the way through. So I've got my 3 questions here. On a scale of 1 to 5, how likely are you to use the following spaces? An indoor football pitch, changing rooms, and then people can kind of choose how they're feeling. I'll maybe change the wording on that question on a scale to 1 to 5, and then I'll change the questions here. So I'll work with you on your questions later. Then, based on the attached picture, what are the positives of this space? And we've got a quick clue there. I like that the space has, so people can enter their answers. And then what would you like to see changed about this space as well? Then they can hit submit. Okay, so let's have a shot at actually building our Microsoft form. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to give your form a title. You can add an image up at the top as well. It's not necessary. I've added one in so it looks a wee bit nicer. Then underneath, we can start to build our questions. So all you need to do is you need to click Add New, and this is where you've got a choice of, oops, wrong button there, loads of different question types. So you can have a multiple choice question, a text-based question. So these are text-based, so they just have to type out their answers. You can give a rating, so like a thumbs up or a star rating, just asking people what today's date is. You can put in different sections as well. So answer all these questions first, move on to the next section, ask all these questions second. You've got, you can kind of get a score question, upload files, Likert. So Likert is this kind of question here. where you can select multiple different answers. So if I was answering, I could select multiple of these different answers. Let's just show you what that looks like. Boop, boop. Okay, so you can select multiple different answers based on that question. So it's kind of like using a table. And then the last question type up at the top there was a ranking. So you can rank in order how important things are for you. So this gives you an idea of the different questions that you could be asking people from your form. So we've got our Likert here. It has automatically generated these answers for me. So I'm going to change that. So on a scale of very likely, so let's change this wording. Very likely to very unlikely. Okay, how likely are you to use the following spaces? Okay, so all you need to then do is add in a statement. So what else would we like them to tell us if they're going to use toilets? Are they going to use toilets while they're there? Maybe they're going to use a sweet shop, maybe a healthy foods shop. Okay, and then whatever else you have included in your plans. Obviously, you've all created something different for your Microsoft Football Challenge. So whatever spaces you have included in your challenge, I recommend you do that for your Likert skill there. To delete, all you do is you then hit the delete button. With any of these questions, when you're building them, you can tick required if the person who's filling in that form needs to answer. Okay, so you can untick required or tick required if it's required that they answer the question. So there's a few different question types that you can include there. Excuse me. So the next one that I'm wanting to do is a ranking question. So I'm going to ask everybody to put these options in the correct order. So in order, or place these spaces in order of how likely you are to use the spaces. Okay. And this is just giving you another idea of how you can use questions. So you could have football pitches. It's not today. What is going on? There we go. Basketball, sports. We could have a swap shop. We could have, what else would we have? Sweet shop. Okay. So then when they go to answer this question, let's go to preview up the top to show you, they have to actually click and drag to move these around. Okay. So swap shop is the most likely to answer. You can use these little arrows here instead. So that just gives you an idea of how to build your questions. You're wanting to ask people what information you would like to gather about these spaces. So do they like that you've had indoor football pitches? Do they prefer outdoor football pitches? Do they like the space? Is it big enough? Should it be a different shape? Ask every single question. And my tip for you here is to think about how, what, where, when, why, and who. Okay, so how are people going to use the space? Who's going to use the space? What spaces are they going to use? Where do they expect the space to be, and where would be a good space for them? So asking each of these questions to get their feedback. I'm going to now put on the 10-minute timer. So you've got 10 minutes to do this, then I'll pull everybody back and I'll show you how to make your forms look that little bit nicer. So working in your groups to create your feedback form. You ready? On you go. Okay, you're back. Good job. Okay, now, so you should have a good 4 or 5 questions ready to ask all of your all of the people that are around you. So let's just make our form look a wee bit nicer. So up at the top, we have, let's just close these down just now. We have style. So we can use any of these very attractive styles that Microsoft has already kind of said is a good one to use. So let's go for that one. Yeah, that looks quite cool. Or the other, well, you can drag down there. There's loads in there for you to use. Is there a football one? There we go. Nice. Okay, so we've got kind of AI generated football ones, but it's not an event. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of create this on our own instead. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go back to the top, just select generic one. There we go. And we can choose our photo instead. So there's lots of different images in here that you can use. Look quite cool. I quite like the look of this one with the hills, and that looks quite smart. Or alternatively, you can also upload your own image as well, or choose your own color. So I'm going to just upload my own image here. Let's go for this one. There we go. Nice. Okay, so it's got a kind of background there. You can use PowerPoint to create your own background just to make it look that wee bit more nicer. Yeah, I think that looks quite good to me. So what do we want to do now? We want to share our form with everybody. So collect responses up at the top. I'm going to click collect responses. Anyone can record. I've not asked anybody to put their names or email addresses or the dates at all. This is all anonymous. So anyone can respond, and then we get a link here. So shorter URL. Good. So when they go copy link, and I'm just going to go incognito, private tab, paste in my form. There we go. Now everybody can take part and use the form. So I'm just going to fill in a couple of these answers just randomly just now, just while everybody is doing that. So what would I like you to do now? Well, now I would like you to please, excuse me, I would like you to go to style. Choose a style. You can upload an image if you like. Choose a style that you think looks good. And then once you've done that, go to collect responses, hit copy link, and just go Control-T, Control-V to paste in. And yeah, have a shot at filling it in. Is there any spelling mistakes? Is there anything you changed? Is there any other questions that need to go in there? Have a little play around with being the person who fills it in. I'm going to stick on the timer now for... Let's see, what timers have I got? I've got a 5-minute timer. So you've got a 5-minute timer to choose your design and to just double check everything before we move on and away from our form. Okay. Okay, well done. Okay, so your forms should be looking beautiful now. All spelled correctly, all ready to go and be sent. So what does that look like for everybody? Well, here we go. Collect responses, copy link, and now we can send that out on Teams. We can share that with everybody. And then once everybody has filled it in, what do we have? Well, I've got 3 responses up here. Excuse me. So once everybody has started to fill in your form, you're going to get a little bit of data. Okay, so on a scale of very likely to very unlikely, how likely are you to use the following spaces? Excuse me. So the indoor football pitch, 66.7% of people are very likely, and 33% are very unlikely, okay, to use it. And we get all of this data. We can see kind of how likely, the dark orange, to very unlikely, the dark blue, people are to use things. So the healthy food shop, not many people are actually going to use that. So that might be something that we might need to rethink about. Toilets, however, most people are going to use the toilets. So that's good to know. What are the positives? So now we can actually see what the responses have been. People like the pitches, the wheelchair accessibility, and the pitches again. Then what do they not like? So basketball courts, changing rooms need to be bigger, and maybe an outdoor space as well. And then down here at the bottom, lastly, place these spaces in order of how likely you are to use these spaces. I'm wondering if, there we go. I'm wondering if I used that question a wee bit incorrectly there. That's fine. So we can ignore that one. But you can see you can have a correct and incorrect answer. I didn't put the correct answer in. This is why we need to check things. So hopefully you have worked that one out with the people that you're working with as well. Okay, so I said we'd have a look at Excel. So what's great about using Microsoft Forms is it can open directly into Excel. So you don't need to do anything. So if I hit open in Excel up at the top, I can click on this file here. And it's going to open up Excel for me. And if I pull this up to the top here, are you able to see that? Oh, hold on. I wonder if it's because it's sharing a percent. Stop my screen. Share screen. Entire screen. There we go. Let's try this now. There we go. Okay, so you should now be able to see it's opened up in Excel. All of their details are anonymous. They've not put in any names. That's fine. But we get all of this data, and Excel has done everything for us, really. Okay, so we have every bit of data that we could ever need just from this form. And if you were feeling like you were wanting to recreate this data in any way, create your own graphs, then you can do so. Now, please go back and have a look at day 2 when I showed you how to create graphs using Excel, using any of this data. But if Forms gives it to us anyway, why should we need to? So unless you're wanting to go further with your data and learn a little bit more about who's actually answering and come up with your own graphs, then I think just use these ones. Just use these ones that are in Microsoft Forms. Okay. So now that we have our data, what do we want to do with it? Well, we want to present that and we want to share that on PowerPoint so that we can present this back to the football club and let them know exactly what they're going to be building. So we're going to head off to PowerPoint. So up in the top left-hand corner, please click on your app, the app launcher up in the top left, and then go to PowerPoint. And from there, we're just going to create a blank presentation. Okay. So now here we are in PowerPoint. The first thing I like to do is I like to personally get rid of these titles, and I'm going to add in design, background, picture from file purely because I've already created them. There we go. There's my slides. Beautiful. So I've got now this opening slide for the Microsoft Football Challenge. Then we can go back to home, and I'm going to go new slide. And I'm going to put in I like to work from blank slides personally because I like to have control over where that text box goes. It's up to you how you do it. You can include slides where the text box is already there for you, but you don't have to. So I'm going to click on the slide and hit delete to delete that slide. And from there, I am now going to start to include the information from my forms. So let's insert a picture from this device. This is our... Let's move it over. This is our proposed space. Okay, and we can add in then a title after that. Let's just go Control D to duplicate and delete. It's just a quick way to do it. And now we can take screenshots of the data that we have in here. So I can go, there we go, we screenshot of that there and hit paste. And now we've got a data on the space, and I'm going to actually copy this and paste in our space so that there's that kind of visual cue there for everybody. Then we can go Control D to duplicate, delete this one, and then what we're going to do then is go down to the next question. Now, that's fine. Then we can go Shift, Windows key and S to get a screenshot. That's hovering, hold on. Come on. Get rid of that. There we go, bubble. And we can put this into our presentation. So now the final thing I would like you to do is to present all of your ideas, all of the data, everything that you've been working on, maybe some of your initial files, screenshots of the initial communication that you had with your team, having a think about what you would like to share with that football club. And I would like you to present that into PowerPoint so that then we can share that with the community and we can share it with the football club. You've got 10 minutes or so to do that now. I'm just going to remove the screen from the video, and I'm going to hit 10-minute timer. You ready? On you go. Okay, there we go. So that is us finished the Microsoft Football Challenge. Hopefully you've had fun exploring the different ways that we can include football into our lives and building your community areas and that smart space for your community to use. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate everybody for taking part in the Microsoft Football Challenge. My name is Niall. You'll find me on Twitter here. So if your teacher does use Education Twitter, please do drop us a wee follow and share with us all of your creations and any videos and photos. We really would love to see these. And if you do take it further and you want to share it to your community and actually go out and share with them your creations, maybe go and show your head teachers, we would really love to see these as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed taking part in the Microsoft Football Challenge. My name is Niall. I will see you again for some future sessions, and I hope that you have enjoyed taking part in the Microsoft Football Challenge. I said Microsoft Football Challenge a lot, haven't I? Okay, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to play the outro music there. So yes, we will see you again soon. Cheers. Bye.